There's a little known statement in company accounts called the value added statement, which used properly can give very valuable information to investors and all other stakeholders. Some companies are beginning to do this, and one example is Exara in its 2012 report, where it showed total value added of 8.8 billion and company tax paid of 277 billion. Now, it just so happens that the total share of value added taken by government was 2.2 billion. Because what Exara did was they took in addition to company tax, they took PAYE, because of course that doesn't go to employees, it goes to the government, and they took net VAT, and they took mineral royalties, and they took various other odds and ends, all of which totaled 2.2 billion out of a value add of 8.8. So the government actually got about a quarter of total value added. And then Labour, on that reckoning, got 31, and the balance went to capital. And capital share, of course, was comprised of dividends, interest payments, and plowback into the company. So what this does is it creates a very accurate share of who gets what of the wealth created by businesses in South Africa. Other companies who do this to a greater or larger extent include Sasol and Group 5. And as regards the mining companies, it would be particularly useful if everybody was aware of this, because there's a great debate raging furiously, and we believe that the pressure for nationalisation might actually be eased if people were aware of how much government did actually get of the value added by mining companies. You may well ask, well, is 25% a lot? Well, but that is because you're automatically thinking of company tax, which is struck after you've deducted your costs of wages and so on, whereas value added is a different concept. Value added of an enterprise is the wealth created by that enterprise. In other words, it's the result of the efforts of capital and labour. And so it's a different thing altogether, and you'll find, if you look at value added statements done like this from different companies, the shares vary quite a lot. We haven't been able to do a wide enough spectrum to be able to say what is average, what is the mean, and so on. But what we're hoping is that as more and more companies begin to do this, South Africans will get a much better idea of who gets what from the wealth created by their companies.